Hello everyone, this is Cindy, and I just wanted to share with you the latest journal I've made. I'm calling it a haunted house journal, junk journal. And I got the idea from a YouTube video that Diane H had done, and she just mentioned in the video that someone had told her she had to make a haunted house junk journal. And I thought, oh, that would be a neat idea. So when I was at Goodwill and I found this book, I thought this would be perfect for a haunted house journal because it has this creepy looking house on the front. I was very familiar with this book, The Ghost of Windy Hill, because I read it when I was in elementary school. Not only did I read it, I still have my copy. So when I came home, I went to see if I still had it, and sure enough I did. And you can see the difference in the two. Here's mine, well used, read quite a bit. And this one obviously has been on someone's shelf for a while, just sitting there until they just discarded it. Another difference is, here's the original spine, and here's the one I created. So I went from like maybe a ½ inch to 2 inches. I was originally thought I would try to fit everything into the original spine because the book was in pretty good shape. You know, I didn't want to take the spine off. But there was just so much I wanted to include that I just had to make a new spine. But I did preserve the old spine. I just glued it on the back. And on the front, I didn't want to cover up the word "the," so I had to put the fabric just right up against it. So I put this little rope stuff to kind of cover where it didn't quite meet. So that's the spine. The book measures 5.5 by 8.25. It's got 3 signatures, and when I was putting the papers together for the signatures, I was counting one of the signatures, and I had 13 pages. And normally I try to keep it at 10 or 12, but I thought, you know, 13 is perfect for a Halloween haunted house journal. So each signature has 13 pages, which means a total of 156 pages to write on or journal on. So I didn't do anything to the front cover, and the only thing I did on the back was just add the spine. And then it's got a post and hair tie closure. So let's go in. If you can see here, I covered the front and the back of the book with this ghost fabric, and it's the fabric that is surrounding us here. I've had this fabric for probably decades and just had never used it, and this was the perfect use for it. I made a library pocket out of some black cardstock and just put in this journaling card, this lady wearing a bat costume. And it's just here for any, you know, whatever the owner wants to put in the pocket. And it is actually a double pocket behind it and then right here in front. All 3 signatures are made, the cover of them is black cardstock. And when I was putting it in, I thought, you know, it just looks too perfect. It doesn't look good enough, rustic enough for a junk journal on haunted houses, right? So I took some of this chalk. I had bought this chalk a while back, green chalk, and I just rubbed it over the book, the page, and then wiped it off, and it made it look a whole lot more rustic. And you'll see a contrast between the two in a minute. All right, this is a tuck spot with a tag in it. And here's the title page of the book, Ghost of Windy Hill. And the copyright date is 1968. There's just a variety of pages. This is just from a magazine, and I thought it's perfect, right? A raven. Here's a tuck spot made from an image from the Reader's Digest condensed books. I just thought it looked like a bunch of creepy little houses, haunted houses. And this is just a journaling card or tag made out of a book page, and it's got a spider web stamped on it and some tulle on it. Tulle on the little topper. And then we got copy dyed papers, music paper. And here's one of the original images from the book. And I thought they're perfect for a haunted house book because the people in them look kind of creepy. It also, if you'll notice here, it's got a little tear. The pages were very fragile, and actually it's got a little rip there too. I sewed these pages onto copy dyed paper, and it still wasn't enough. They were still too brittle. So I put Mod Podge on all of them, including the title page. It's got Mod Podge on it, just to help preserve it. I truly believe that this book would have been a pile of dust within a little bit because the pages were so fragile. The cover looked good, but the pages inside were just crispy. I chose this paper because it reminded me of what some wallpaper might look like within the haunted house. And there's spider webs. And this is a tuck spot made out of 3 circles. 2 of them with scalloped edges, and the black one is just a smooth edge circle. And the stamp in the middle says Viola Swamp is watching you. And it's from a series of books, elementary books, about Miss Nelson, who was a teacher. And when her class was misbehaving, she dressed up as Viola Swamp and was the substitute that made the kids, was, you know, loud and angry to the kids, and they didn't like the way she looked and everything about her. So when Miss Nelson came back to class, the kids behaved a whole lot better. And she just warned them, you know, be careful because Miss Viola Swamp could be watching you. So I just thought she was perfect for a haunted house book. This is just a journaling card with some tulle on it and a spider web. This page flips out. There's some more of that could be wallpaper paper. Images from the book. This is a gate that could be at a front of a creepy house or in a cemetery or something. And you flip it open and there's a wonderful little bat staring you down. This is the center of the signature, and this is this paper here. It is erasable bond typewriter paper, and I found this at a yard sale. And it's pretty good paper. It's got a nice thickness, and it's kind of slick, and it's crinkles, and what's really great about it is it goes through your printer just fine. Except it had a tendency to roll when it was wet, so I just laid it down and anchored it until it dried, and it was fine after that. This image here is a digital download that I have on my Etsy shop, Books by Burke, all the B's capitalized. And it's a set of old newspaper ads that you can print for tuck spots and ephemera and pockets. And this one, particular one, is in set 2. So I just printed out and made a little tuck out of it. This little journaling card. There's some more of that could be wallpaper. Here's just a pocket with a tag. And I found these cards at Salvation Army, and there was a whole bunch of bird cards, and I just pulled out the ones that were kind of creepy looking that would be hanging out at a haunted house, and included them in these pockets. This bottle here is another one of those ads that's on my Etsy shop in the old newspaper ephemera digital downloads. And this one is in set 1. These poison labels I found I used 2 different websites. One of them was Graphics Fairy, and the other one's the Old Design Shop, and they just had different ones of these labels, and I thought, well, they'll make perfect journaling cards and pockets. This is just a piece of paper that's got bats and skeletons on it, and I made a large pocket out of it for this journaling card. Here is a picture of a tree that's kind of spooky looking. And then I found this picture in the Reader's Digest book. And it's just a man and a woman that are hugging, and they look like they're scared of something. So you open the card to see what they're scared of. And there's these statues of these women in veils. And it reminded me of a Doctor Who episode that my daughter loves to hate. It's about the stone angels that when you're not looking at them, they'll creep up closer and closer to you. And then if you turn and look at them, then they stop. And then they keep creeping up on you until they eventually get you. All right, here is a tuck made of a photo of another potential haunted house with just some journaling cards in it. This is a belly band in the shape of a coffin that when you open it, there's just this creepy looking old lady hiding out in there. It's another one of those circle tucks. This is an index card with just some ribbon glued on it. And this lace here, I don't know if you can see it or not, I took this off of a dress that I bought at the Salvation Army on their dollar rack. And it's almost like tulle, except it's thicker and a lot thicker. And it's already was ruffled, so it was easy to just to glue on there. Here's another tuck spot made out of a bird image. There's an owl guarding that pocket. The journaling card. Center of the signature, just another potential haunted house. This is a double pocket, one in front and one in back. Another pocket made out of the gate and a tree and a tombstone. Another pocket's got a lion and a guy hiding out in the woods ready to pounce on you. This is a tag that says Bad Moon on the Rise. Just a little tuck spot there, this little card. Another little tuck spot. It's a flip out. Garden gate makes a tuck spot for that card. Here's some of the black cardstock that doesn't have the chalk on it. You can kind of see the difference between it and the chalked cardstock. It's another pocket. It's a bird card and an index card with lace on the. It actually has piping on the end. I don't know if you can see it. The pocket and a creepy image on the pocket. It's another potential haunted house. 2 tags. These 2 images, the one about the embalming and one about, this is the same as we saw earlier from the funeral home, are both in those digital kits on my Etsy shop, and these are in set 2. And I use both of these to decorate these 2 pockets. This is a library pocket, and it just has an image from the old design shop of a tombstone. And here's another lady dressed up as a bat. Another tag. This creepy old lady is an image from the book, and so it kind of gives you the theme of creepy old ladies going through this book. This is just a tuck spot. I got this idea on YouTube from, I believe it was Grammy's Keepsakes is the YouTube channel. She just basically takes a piece of paper, puts a fold, glues one side as a tuck, and then it makes the other side a flip. Here's another potential haunted house making a pocket with this journaling card with some of the fabric stapled onto it. This is the center of a signature with that same typewriter paper, and this image is kind of hard to see, I'm sure, but it's got a house with a light and a cat and spider webs and a crickety-o fence. Here's just a tag, kind of shaped like a coffin, a crow or raven. Some more of that potential wallpaper for a haunted house, and I just glued this picture of this lady like it might be on the wall in the house. Here's a pocket with the index card. There's a belly band made out of some ribbon with this index card behind it. Another pocket index card. And we end with this lady looking at you from the trees. And on this back of the signature, I don't know if you can tell it or not, there's a witch there. I chalked the background, but I didn't chalk her, so she might stand out a little bit. But I wanted her to kind of blend in with the background. So anyway, that is the end of this book. It will be for sale on my Etsy shop, Books by Burke. And I thank you for watching it. Thank you.